Yo, 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 what's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Nate the Great coming at you with another live. You already know if you're new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. To all the returning friends and family, you already know it's peace and blessings. Give y'all some time to tune in. Apologies, I was supposed to do this a couple hours ago, but it had been a busy morning as always. Nonetheless, blessed one. For those in the city, yeah, this weather is still doing somewhat of a 180. Was cool this morning, but it's blazing hot this afternoon. So if you're out and about, make sure you're keeping yourself hydrated. Keep you some water, some Gatorade, coconut water, whatever. If you can't really be out in the heat too long, try to get somewhere where there's adequate shade, and focus on your health more than anything. Latanya, baby. First things first, hopefully everybody having a blessed and productive Monday. Hopefully everybody was smooth to get through their weekend. Uh, if you were celebrating birthdays over the weekend, hopefully you was able to enjoy yourself, you know, and able to enjoy another blessing upon blessings. Appreciate everybody that tuned in Friday for the conversation. Yeah, this weekend I had to take it off. Only took off the weekend just because, few things that really need to be done. And couldn't multitask on that part right there. So nonetheless, still felt good. For those following me on Clapper, I appreciate y'all for tuning in when y'all tuned in Saturday. Leah, baby. Friday was definitely a good conversation that was needed. You know, in any event, we do get music coming through here. I don't own copyrights to nothing. I don't own no rights to none of the music that might be getting played. I think somebody playing they damn speaker like we had a barbecue. But if you missed Friday's situation, definitely go watch the replay. Like I said, at some point, I'm gonna revisit that. Today, I'm just going to reiterate on one or two things again, and this has to deal with some of y'all parents. Some of you are gonna have to push your kids, and not saying push your kids to the extremes, but push them to their ultimate goals, basically. Um, because some kids say they got an ultimate goal on doing this and doing that, but then again, you won't get that if there's no support system, basically. Harry, what's going on, my guy? When there's no support system at all, doesn't matter what it is. Um, it's the most damaging feeling because again, you want to see them grow, you know, exponentially. You definitely want them to be at their highest peak. If your kids are interested, prime example, if they interested in automotive repairs and HVAC repairs and stuff like that, then encourage them to keep doing so. Some of these fields, I feel you should be pushing the kids in. It'll give them a subtle balance. It'll show them that regardless to what, you're still gonna have to work. You're still gonna have to utilize your brain. You're still gonna have to think. You know, and if you're gonna move in these areas of expertise, you definitely need to know what you're doing, and you also need to make sure that you can give the best customer satisfaction like you're supposed to. Like I said, if you do run an automotive shop, right? You don't want to run a shop and you don't know nothing about cars at all. Like I told people, you get into the things. I told a couple of young ones this the other day. Y'all got to start getting into things that you actually have a passion for. Don't get into certain things just because you feel like you're being pushed or rushed into it. You know? Yeah, there's kids that love to play basketball. No doubt, Leah. Like I said, for those following me on Clapper, I appreciate y'all for tuning in Saturday for the live stream. We definitely had a great one. Um, I was supposed to be back yesterday, but yeah, got called in a little bit earlier to work than I was supposed to. So, but I will be trying to do something tonight, definitely. Uh, those on the West Coast, it'd be 4 o'clock your time. I'll be up on there. So I was gonna come on here and do something, but nah, I'm sticking to my guns. I like it where I'm at over there. But yeah, you gotta have the right type of, you know, gotta have the right type of foundation and inspirational foundation. You know, like you gotta make sure it ain't just your parents that's uplifting you and keeping you in the best of spirits. Gotta make sure you got strong-willed and strong-minded and determined friends too. You know, no doubt, Leah, baby. But the one thing to remember too is that you're never gonna reach or accomplish certain goals if you don't push yourself. Because you can have everybody pushing you, but if you're not willing to push yourself, you're not willing to go the distance and try to make it happen, it's never going to happen. This is where some people get it messed up. You get a blueprint and think, all right, I could just do this and that's it. No, you can start a blueprint to something. You can start with something, but that something you started with might grow into something bigger, depending on what you do. Like there's some people, prime example, who want to do podcasts and they want to do talks with the people, et cetera, right? But in order for you to do that, you got to be able to at least hold a conversation with people. No doubt, Harry, I hear you on that. Oh, they trying to give your boy a copyright for real. I hope you don't come down in with that loud boom box, man. My bad, y'all. Just in case if y'all do hear something in the background, it ain't me. Oh, that's definitely something old. My bad, y'all. I got distracted. No, but you gotta always push yourself to the limits. You know, don't push yourself over the limit, but push yourself too. You know, again, if you're determined on building with your hands, prime example, you're gonna have to have hands-on training. You know, and that's the thing. Again, for some of y'all, you want to try to get in certain positions, you got to play the position. So if you're trying to get a certain job, even like prime example, you could be. It doesn't matter what position you're going for. When you're going for an interview, you gotta dress to impress. You know, because that's making your first impression on somebody that could be hiring. Get coming in with sweatpants, sagging, your drawers out, like, or you can't come in even if you got proper gear on, right? You can't come in that place sagging or looking any old type of way, because guess what? That first impression will be a long lasting impression. Some of these people will probably think, well, do I want somebody who's always going to have their damn pants below their waist? Do I want somebody that look like they don't care about nothing outside of getting a check? Like, come on now. And this is where some of y'all mess up too. You want to get in these positions because of the financial pay and the benefits and all of that. But if you're going to get into that, it shouldn't just be about the financials. I said this before. You should be doing something that you love. Like prime example, don't get into home health aid field or anywhere in the nursing or medical field if you don't want to deal with people or if you don't have the time or the patience. Cool gamer, what's going on? You got to know what you're going for, basically. And if that's what you really want to go for, then yeah, you do what's necessary. But you can't sit here and then think this is what it's going to be. I'm going to just get a couple good checks and then I'm gone. Some of y'all do have that motivation to stay on the job as long as everything is going good. For some of y'all, the minute something don't go right or the minute a higher up tells you something that you feel is not needed, y'all get upset and get your feelings. Your managers or your supervisors, even your president might end up saying something. It might not be that you're doing something bad. They probably want to give you fair warning on something, or they probably want you to make sure you stay on your toes. Because a certain job fields, They're gonna push you to that. They're gonna make sure that you're staying on point and and doing what's needed. Trust me, son. You know I got South roots in there, but shit, I wouldn't care what you call them, boxes, briefs, your undies, whatever the fuck you want to call them. Again, you can't go in certain spots looking like you not ready to get a job at all. I watched a few people, and this was when I started working with my company. Before I started working with my company, had the interview. I came in dressed to impress. A couple people came in dressed to impress. Some people got exited out the door as soon as they came in. Because again, if they're telling you you have to be presentable, that's exactly what it means. You have to come in dressed to impress. You can't come into an interview sweats, jeans, boots. No, proper slacks, button down, pair of shoes, even if it's well shoot, even if it's crocodile shoes, don't matter. You got to come in with the right stuff. You can't expect to get something in life if you're not playing the part. And that's both men and women. Because I've seen women get denied jobs just because they were wearing things that were deemed either privacy or they was wearing stuff that for a fact a job is not going to allow you to have on. You can't wear certain things and knowing you could be enticing to other workers. This is why some females was mad because they didn't get the part. But then again, you're not dressing for the part. Serious, baby. You can't come in there with a hoochie mama dress, a bonnet on your scalp piece, and think that you're getting a job. I mean, think about it. When you know you're going for a job interview, you can't walk around like how you would be walking around if you outside the hood just chilling. You can't come in pajamas. You can't come in things of that nature. You have to come professional. So if you have to wear, prime example for you women, you got to wear business skirt or business dress. Make sure you're doing something. Same thing I would say for a man. Button down shirt for you ladies, skirt or dress for y'all, shoes. Because again, how do you expect to get the position if you're not dressed for it? And that's what I'm saying. You can't think less of yourself, and you can't give up on yourself. But in the same token, too, you can't put yourself in a position to where it's going to be too much for you to handle. The main thing to remember is again, you just get into that better state. Get into that better state of thinking. You know, and prime example, if you have distractions, some of those distractions might deter you from doing things. Gotta always remember that again, when it comes to certain elements in your life, you have to push yourself, just like everybody else would be pushing you. But you also got to maintain and understand that look, what you're doing is for the betterment of you. Nobody else is gonna make you better. Nobody else is gonna put you in a better position until you put yourself in one. Word, what's going on, my guy? My bad, y'all. Shoot, this Gatorade is hitting because the weather did a 180 on your boy. It was cold as hell this morning, cold enough for a sweater or a hoodie. But come this afternoon, there's hot chicken tenders out here, extra spice on it. So again, for those in the city, make sure y'all keeping yourselves cool and hydrated. If you need to get out of the sun, get the hell out the sun. Please do that because again, your health is more important than anything. Oh, they really trying to catch your boy with a copyright. Dancing Queen for real? Nah, I'm done. I'm done. See that heifer? My bad, y'all. If y'all do hear some music again, there's somebody that I know got the damn black boombox outside. Again. See, the problem is we have stopped thinking for ourselves, at least in certain scenarios. People stop thinking for themselves. They allow everything else to think for them. They allow the government to think for them. They allow their friends, family to think for them. But what about you? What do you see for yourself? Because guess what? Your parents could want you to do something, but in that same token, it might not be in your best interest. It might not be something that you're into. So again, you need to find out, you know, you need to find out where you're going with all of this, you know. And see, and this is my thing too. This is why I said to a degree, you know, the family structure is important. You know, mothers and fathers are needed because again, how do you expect your children to be anything in life if you're not there to support them, if you're not there to give them the kind words of encouragement, if you're not there to, make sure that they're elevating? Like I was saying before, your kid could want to be into sports, right? But your kid ain't gonna have a chance in sports if that's what he really want to do. If you're not teaching them the basics, or if they're not going somewhere where it could be taught the basics. Some of your kids want to get into boxing, right? But how can your kids be a great boxer or even a good boxer at that if they're not learning? They're not sparring. They're not doing the necessary routines, the exercises that most of these boxers do to keep themselves in form. Now, granted, boxers don't fight every day. They don't fight every month. They might fight what they depending on who you are. You might get 2 fights out the year, maybe 2 at best. You know, but even during that time of you being off, you still got to keep yourself motivated. Still got to train. Still got to exercise. You still got to do your conditionings and all of that. You never want to slack off. Prime example when it comes to boxing, because now when you do have a fight that you might have to outlast your opponent, basically, how can you do so if you don't got the proper conditioning? I've watched some fights where it looked like the underdog was going to lose and the underdog came out on top. Why? Because the underdog had more determination, grit, and drive. You know, but they also did what was necessary. They was training properly, and that's the thing with certain sports. You're gonna have to train. There's no days off when it comes to trying to push what you need to push. And when you do take them days off, you should already be in a position to where, all right, I could take this day off, relax my body, heal, and then come back to it. You know, I hear you, Leah. I hear you on that. But again, this is something that you're gonna have to do. Like if your kids are in the sports, you're gonna have to sit down with them and let them know. It's not gonna be an easy task. It's not gonna be a cakewalk in the park. You're gonna have to get up. You're gonna have to implement yourself and motivate yourself to again be your best. You know, you want to be the best linebacker, the best defensive end, or even the best quarterback, or whatever position you're trying to go for in football. Shit, basketball too. Whatever position you playing for, whatever position you're trying to play for, you got to give it your all. Because if you want that spot, especially if you want a solidified spot, you're gonna have to not so much as outshine everybody, but you got to show the coaching staff and everybody else that you're ready and that you're willing to put in the work that's needed to get to the next level. You know, it's a respect level when it's all said and done. You know, you have to respect yourself, number one, and you got to expect yourself to, you know, to just keep the ball rolling regardless to how things are moving. Like prime example, you got some people who are vying or vying for the same positions, right? We all know in certain spots you're not gonna always get the position you want. You might get the position that's needed though, and that position that is needed will be the one that will drive you to where it needs to drive you to. It will keep you motivated. But again, if you're not prepared mentally, physically, or anything along those lines, you'll only get but so far. Like prime example, if you want to get into the medical field, at certain points you're gonna have to um you're gonna have to carry more than 50 pounds on you, and that's any job. you can't carry or you know hold at least 50 pounds or something, you might not get that. Because again, you might have to you home health aid, prime example. You might get a case where the person is unable to do as much. So you ain't got to do everything. That means you got to give them a bath. You might have to change them in case they can't get to the bathroom, etc., etc. This is why they try to tell you in certain situations you got to at least be in some shape or some form of whatever, because you might have to do some heavy lifting at certain points. And if you can't even lift 10, 20 pounds, how you want to expect to lift 50? You got to make sure your body is in the right order, because guess what? You're dealing with people who, they could be sick as well too. But this is what I'm saying. In certain fields, you're gonna have to put in the necessary time and the steps to build and grow. And there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you might have to go back to the drawing board, retweak something, and then come back to it. And it's not that you're giving up on yourself. No, you want to make sure that you're in a better position. And to be honest with you, you can never be in a great position in life if you don't have that mindset to say everything is going to be okay. If I don't have that mindset to say, regardless to what's going on now, I still got time to make something happen. Yeah, you got to motivate and encourage. And the same thing with some of you parents. Even when your kids are getting older, you still need to be a backbone and encouragement for them. Need to be. I hear you, Leah. And for those who might have lost, husbands or wives or significant others, still got to be a driving force for your children. You have to be a driving force for them, because there's no way they get to the next stages in life if you're not giving them still the best blueprints to get there. And I think that's what parents need to start doing again. Start encouraging your kids to do more. Overheard a conversation one day, and I had to tell somebody, how do you expect your kids to listen to anything you're saying when you're not properly motivating them? You can't expect your kids to listen to something you're saying when you're not implementing it from young. That'd be like you letting your kids be out all hours of the night, and now when you decide you want to set a curfew, they ain't gonna listen to that shit. Not unless you really one of those parents that look, what I say goes, and if you think something otherwise, the door is right there. Keep it pushing. But then again, I would say that's the bad thing to do in certain cases, because again, you're kind of pushing them out there in the world, and you ain't giving no you ain't giving no sense of hope, no sense of a blueprint how to make it out in the world around them, so on and so forth. Like there's some of you who want to kick your sons out. Now, if your sons are still keeping everything aboard and being humble to everything, let them try to figure out where they go for life. Because again, how could you just think to kick kids out at a certain age and they're not even financially straight to do anything themselves? Some of them can't get no apartments. So it's not like you could kick a prime example. You can't kick a 17-year-old and expect them to get an apartment. Not unless they moved in with somebody or somebody took them in. Because they still too young to even try to get a crib for their own. So why go through all of that? No, I grant it. In certain situations, you got to give your kids a hard lesson. But if your kids are following everything accordingly, you ain't got to worry about much of nothing outside of the regular talks you got to have with them. That's it. Those regular talks you have with them on a daily are the ones that's going to always keep them motivated and keep them, on a high up and ups. James, what's going on, my guy? Didi, baby. I hear you, Leah. In certain instances, guess what? You're gonna have to be that, and that's for any parent that might have lost a significant other. You're still gonna have to play the role of both parents for that time frame. The main thing is to keep your kids motivated and keep them off the streets, right? But again, how can you have them going somewhere when, again, you're not teaching them nothing? You want to push your kids out into the world, right? When they don't have no financial stability, no real knowledge of certain things that they need to have knowledge on. So it's almost like, again, you setting them up for blatant failure. Marlene, baby. Those who just tuned in, y'all already know y'all can hit that like button. I hope y'all can't hear that music in the background, because I feel like he gonna blast that shit louder. My fault, y'all. Somebody playing YMCA. It's not fun to stay at the YMCA because y'all keep closing down the YMCA. God damn it. My bad, y'all. Time I hear that song, I start getting mad because there's a lot of YMCAs that's closed now. I know where they was going with it, but it's different. You know, again, how you expect your kids to have their own place, be subtle in things that they need to be subtle in, you ain't giving them the right type of tools. The minute my child would have turned 18, all right, now it's time to sit down and have this talk on what you want to do and how you're going to go about it. Even if your kids don't go to college, I know you don't expect them to be in the house forever, but then again, how you expect them to get their own and do their own things if you're not pushing them to do so? There's ways to do that without making them feel like they're not wanted. Because I've always felt like this: a family should be tight knit until almost everybody is in a position to win on their own. You know, but we know it's not always like that. We know that's not always the case. You know, because you're gonna have some people who are just that selfish. Hey, Marlene. Hopefully all's well with you, though, sis. And I hear you, Leah. Hey, if it's keeping him in shape, especially if he's still playing sports, hey, let him keep doing what he's doing. Just make sure he don't tackle your ass. That's it. No, but you know, think about it. You gotta give them all forms of knowledge, and when they are old enough to start learning what they need to learn, guess what? They'll be not so much as out your head, but they'll be in a better position. You know, gotta think about it. When the child is growing, you gotta think about their overall well-being until they get into adulthood. And even while doing so, you still need to push the boundaries that need to be pushed. Like, look, I know this is that and third, but at a certain point, you're gonna want to have your own. There are some people who are glad that their kids are gone, not because they was fiending to get them out the house. No, they're kind of glad because again, they get to get back to the old things they was doing before the kids were involved. You know, not so much as just relations, but shoot, you got peace of mind. You know, you get to sit back and actually enjoy yourself a little bit more. You know, yeah, a little more carefree now because you don't have to solely worry about you know the kids being out and about doing something while they under your roof, so on and so forth. Really not hard, man. It's not hard to push your child to greater limits. Again, but you gotta know how to push them. You gotta definitely give them that eye of wisdom. Like, look, when you start getting older, there's things that are gonna come across. You're gonna have to start being responsible for. Prime example. Teach them how to get, you know, familiar with specific bills, mortgages, and stuff like that. So when they do have their own, they can maintain their own. See, that's the thing. Some people don't get a chance to learn that and maintain their own. If you give them the right tools at a certain age, they'll be able to grasp that, learn that, and keep that in mind. Nothing in life is going to be easy, but it should never be that hard neither. You know, some things are going to go your way, some things might not go your way. You focus on the things that went right, and then the things that went wrong, you analyze, you observe, and then from there you make more careful executed plans. But again, I strongly urge some of you parents to give your kids the knowledge all around the board. You know, the main thing is to remember they coming from they coming from y'all, right? But that don't necessarily mean everything is gonna be where you want it to be. You have to do what's right for you. I'm good, Marlene. I'm sitting in the shade while I can because shoot, it's hot as all hell. You know, you gotta remember that part. You know, also the way you handle things, the way you take care of things, that also plays a big factor when it comes to parenting. You can't be an emotionally stressed out parent all the time. And that's males and females. There's going to be situations that come across where you're going to have a calm, cool head. Because again, it's solely about making sure you don't push your kid into the wrong direction or make it to where your kid feels they can't come to you and talk to you. Like I said, emotional intelligence definitely needed when it comes to parenting. Gonna need it because again, it could have been a danger that happened right in your child's school. You're gonna be going ballistic, but then in certain cases, you're not gonna be able to go ballistic without it being some form of an issue. So again, you're gonna have to have some form of emotional strength and intelligence in that factor right there. Because as much as you would like to go off and lash out and do whatever, sometimes that ain't gonna make the situation any better. If anything, it's gonna progress the situation, and then from there, it's gonna get real sticky and ugly. Liz, baby, you gotta be in tune. You gotta be in tune with what's going on. And again, you can't just go off of the raw emotion because that raw emotion, a lot of times, it's not gonna benefit. It's not gonna benefit you, your child, and nothing along those lines. Now, prime example, your kid could be going through something like bullying in school, right? And in that scenario right there, as a parent, you could deal with it two ways. You could deal with it non-physically, or you could deal with it physically. But then again, when you think about that, if you go the physical route with things, right? You might oppress the parents. You probably might even press the kid. That juncture right there could fall back on you twice as hard. Parents, the main thing you are supposed to teach your kids well before anything in life, outside of the main things they need to learn, is teach them about intolerance, because there's people who are intolerant to others. So teach them about that stuff. Teach them about bullying. Teach them about the things necessary, and also make sure they're not going on that lines too. Like, come on there. You expect your kid not to be a bully, then don't do bully tactics or don't encourage the bully tactics. It's one thing when you're joking, because prime example, in certain scenarios, people could be joking and others will get too sensitive and take it as it's not a joke, and vice versa. It's about identifying it though. If it's not deemed as disrespect, if it's deemed as playful banter and all of that shit, 'cause I've seen some people do that and everybody laughed. Even the ones that thought they might have felt the type of way even started laughing. Like, thought I was going to be mad, but it was actually kind of funny. That's what I'm saying. You have to be able to, identify when it's something like that and when it's something that you really deem as disrespect. Those are the things you need to teach. It should be taught because guess what? You can never call somebody something out of character in a disrespectful light and think there ain't gonna be consequences and repercussions to deal with. Now, if you said something on a joke level where even you know, the most, how can I say, even the most sensitive will start laughing. That goes to show you, you know how to be aware of things. Oh, they definitely trying to get your boy a damn copyright. I'm about to move from out of here. Is he playing Footloose? My bad, y'all. I got distracted again. Man, this dude really got that damn barbecue speaker out here, wilding on it. Mm. Shout out to the block party speakers. But gotta just be able to have that smooth talk with them. Let them know that when you get into a certain phase, the transition in your life, you just got to be able to eliminate things that don't mean you well, and you also got to be able to incorporate things that do. Again, you got to know when to be respectful, and when to just fall back. Teach them how to be persistent and consistent because both go hand in hand. You have to be consistent in thought, and you have to be persistent in making your goals and your dreams come true. And that is an opinion disclaimer. That's just my view and opinion on it. I mean, appreciate you for dropping those links, serious baby. Working harder than this damn birds on that bird feeder, baby. It's like 1,000 of them on the bird feeder right now, y'all. So but you just gotta remember that part, though. You give them solid wisdom on things, they can grow. You know, again, it's about knowing when and when not to. But you also teach them to defend themselves when they need to defend themselves too. You know, when they feel like their back is against the wall, is that no? If they got to stand on something, then stand on something. If it's something that they don't want to be a part of, whether it's amongst friends or family, got to give them that wisdom too to stand your ground. Some people will get upset when you get stuck in your ways. But some of those ways you get stuck in because that's how you build yourself to be a better person. You don't tolerate and take any form of disrespect, misguidance, so on and so forth. Don't take that. When it's something that's not making sense, yeah, you got to question it sometimes. Shit, not all the time. There's certain things that don't need to be questioned. Don't question it. What's going on? Like you should never question your own self worth or your greatness. You should never question that. Definitely never again mistrust the ones who are showing you the most trust, especially when they believe in you. And you know what's funny though? In certain scenarios, we do see a lot of that happening. You know, people are standing on their grounds even as of recent. So you know, it's good. Hold on, I got you in a second. Give me a second. Trying to make sure this dude ain't coming nowhere near me with that block party speaker. I'm really not trying to get a copyright. Oh, give me a second. And I gotta get my ass up out of here anyway. Apparently, the bugs don't like anything sweet. I'm up out of here. But again, teach your kids the most necessary structures for life so they could be a better part of life. It's nothing wrong with again wanting to see the best out of people that you gave birth to, people that you gave life to. You want to make sure that they are keeping everything afloat. Again, even when you're well long ago. In order for you again to understand certain aspects of life, you got to go through those aspects of life. You wanna know why some people know about misery and pain? Because they've been through enough. And for some, they've kept in so much of it that if it ever does come out, hey, you're gonna feel where they're coming from. You wanna know why people have experience with happiness and joy? Because a lot of them placed that in their life. Wasn't hard to do. It wasn't hard to do at all. That's because they had not so much as a solid foundation around the areas, but just a solid foundation of mind to say I'm not going to allow certain things to keep me under. There's
That's
some
a whole
people,
fact.
yeah, because there's some people that try to use that logic and say that, oh, well, the oppressors. Nah, you can't always keep saying the oppressors. What are we doing? You know, that's the mindset that should be there. Because
Right.
again, if you're going to go with that logic, and I'm just throwing it out there, you're going to go with that logic, you got to think about self as well, too. Because there's always going to be a loophole to certain things in life. Even when an obstacle is giving you the most problems, you still manage to get around it or get through it. But it's solely, but it's solely up to you though. You're either gonna keep
Yep.
pushing until you get where you gotta get, or you just keep letting it knock you back. It's solely up to you.
That's right. And now that the doors are open, man, it's like you said, there ain't no excuses, man. It's no excuse for nobody not to be running around in the community, in the neighborhood with no job, man. You can't be no doctor without the proper credentials, man. You know what I mean? Everybody want to make it $100 an hour, $300 an hour. Nah, it don't work like that, man. You got to crawl before you walk, man.
Fact. And that's what I'm saying. People fail to realize you start from somewhere, and no
Right,
matter where you do go in life, if it's in a position where it's keeping you above ground or keeping you out of the jail system, that could be
right.
the you could be blessed to even be in that position. Do what's necessary and don't crash out. I know it's easier said than done. but don't be a part of certain things if you was able to get into a certain position where you could get you and get the people around you that you really feel deserve it or really feel needed, in a comfortable place.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Just
Yeah.
gotta keep the motivational, gotta keep the motivational part of it still intact. Because guess what? You know, nobody's gonna get nowhere off of negative thoughts and just negative energy. And if you do, it ain't gonna be where you think you should be going.
Right. And sometimes that negative energy won't even get you. It get the people that you love.
Exactly. Don't need
Crazy,
that.
man. Nah. And times is way easier than how it was, man, back then when our people were struggling for for rights and stuff like that. Now look, man, they probably rolling over in their graves, man. Like I'm like that. That's what we died for, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, but I believe in certain instances too. Some of them are actually happy because some of them are still keeping what they need to keep, the tradition right. So,
Hmm.
like I said, it's always gonna be that it's always gonna be that 50-50 battle when it comes to that because you're gonna have half of the people who might be doing right, half of them people who ain't
Right.
gonna do right. Some of them don't know what's right. Some of them probably don't even know
Yep.
what's wrong. So that's what I'm
You're right,
saying.
B.
You gotta always keep that fucking shit together.
Hey, yo, Nate, because the whole entire time when I was doing certain things, I had no clue I was hurting the community, man. I didn't know. I didn't know
Yeah,
until you step away from me. Wow, man. This is what all the day. And then if you, like I said, back in the days, if you would have snatched me up and told me, hey, man, yo, they hiring over here, I would have went. I wasn't that ignorant, you know what I mean? But I'm
yeah,
not gonna lie, I wanted to hang out. But at the same time, if you would have showed me an outlet to get some bread legally, I would have been stepped away from the streets, man.
yeah,
Word. Like I said, my cousin, he was in the neighborhood and he was just doing him and he was going to work, yo. He was chilling. No
yeah,
problems. You know what I mean? You know how the game go, man.
yeah. But that's what I'm saying. You gotta have that. You're gonna have to have that motivational set even around you. Like even as far as people, like I said, some people are gonna give you a overall, you know, humbling balance because again, you can't go above and beyond without being wise, and being in tune with what's going on. Like
Right.
you thinking you're gonna move in one field, and then you come to find out that field has damn near completely changed. Now you gotta have another course of plan.
Hmm.
It's almost the
Hmm.
equivalent. That's almost the equivalent of you putting all your money just in one stock and thinking it's gonna help. It's not gonna do that. 9 out of 10, you put your money in different stock. You'll always have something to bank on.
Right. Yeah, it's super rare for you to hit on one. But it's possible, but it's rare.
Yeah,
But if you got your money,
that's
if you dibble and dabble a little bit here, you'll have a better chance of seeing a reward.
yeah. Nah, that's what I'm saying. You can't just sit here and rely on one. That's why I was
Word.
saying the other day. You got to be diversified in life, especially in life options. Life options are always going to be that, option.
Yeah, man.
But if you're making life choices that's going to be beneficial, then that's something different.
Hmm. That's right. Yo, Nate, man. Yo, you one of the dopest dudes on this joint, man. You know what I mean? Because I've been to certain places, I've been to certain channels, and I see you pop up. I'm like, yo, wow. But fans just be on some talking about what needs to be talked about stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's real, man. And it's easy to get distracted, I know. But yo, you stay on course, man. I love that about you, bro. Word to
I
my mother.
appreciate that. I appreciate that, bro. Listen,
Oh yeah, man.
this is something that was given not just by one but both parents. And
Hmm.
basically, like I said, they basically brought into the world a product of just good balance. Even at my angriest point, nigga, I still gotta keep on point. Gotta remember the goal at hand. Goal at hand is to keep away from two certain situations, which is always
Exactly.
gonna be the motivation. Popcorn, what's going on, my guy? That's always gonna be the motivation. Doesn't matter what
Right.
I'm going through. I gotta keep that strong notion in mind that that's just the way life works. Everything is not
Hmm.
gonna be peaches and cream. But then again, you know, it doesn't negate from the fact that we still need certain things in play to keep the numbers down. Like the numbers still rising. You know, it's rising in the bad point though, because it's like what is everybody teaching? I know
Right.
everybody has different forms and whatever, but it's like, what are we really here for? Like
Right.
we are here for reasons, not just the
Yes.
seasons, but we are here for the reasons. The reasons is to try to at least better the people that need it, those who feel
Yep.
defeated. You know, so this way we never delete it. But it's just it's crazy though. When you really
I ain't
get
know you
to,
got bars, yeah. See, my son Nate got bars. I hear you.
I mean, because it's real rap right now. I might
No
sound like
question.
I'm rapping, but I'm not. I'm giving you some real raps right now, bro. Because it's
Oh
like
yeah.
we here for the betterment. So if we want to see better, you got to be able to do better. All right, you know what? I
Exactly.
want my child to, even if they don't go to college, right? I want my child to still be successful in whatever the hell they doing. So if I gotta push
Right.
the envelope, I push the envelope the way I need to. Other than that,
Yep.
I gotta let them be themselves when they get a certain age. They gotta find themselves. But oh, they try to give me a copyright. I knew it.
So they'll give you a copyright just for that, just for somebody walking by. They
I
don't
got
even
an
care.
email
Huh?
one time. No, you don't. I got an email one time before like that, and I didn't play no music, no musical drops, none of that. It threw me off.
But
I
it's
was like, oh,
now isn't it bizarre how they promote the genocide? They promote rap music that's talking about killing and doing this, that, and the third. But if somebody walking by, you playing a line, they actually try to flag you. Or I don't familiar with the rules and stuff like that because I just do basic stuff. But that's bizarre, man.
they did that before. I'm
It's
telling
crazy,
you.
man.
Somebody drove past me. I forgot if they was talking about what they was playing. I gotta go back in that email if I can find it. Somebody drove by, they playing DMX. Next thing you know, I got an email talking about, so yeah, you can't. I was like, what? I ain't do it. I was like, oh, y'all playing new games? Mm-hmm.
Right,
I got you. I
right.
see where it's going. But
We
nah,
ain't gonna be
it's
satisfied till we
funniness
have
though.
our own joint.
Nah, it's
We get
funniness
our
though
own
to
little
me
stuff.
because it's funniness to me because regardless of how they try to do things, they know a majority of the people at some point, even when they think they sleep, they'll be awoke and they're gonna wake up at the most important times. Like, oh, okay, we're
Exactly.
not gonna keep allowing this to happen. That's why I was saying
Hmm.
all along, it's good to at least try to, push the envelope when you need to.
Right.
About to say I ain't do
See
it,
Jake the
officer.
Snake running on you.
I ain't do it.
Exactly.
Mazel tov. Man, listen, that shit had me tight. Because I was thinking about it. I said, damn, I said, when you think about it, I said in certain instances, like even what I was, talking about recently, I said, like, why you as a parent in this generation or in this day and age would you allow your kids to be out all hours of the night? You know,
Right.
you got to have
I
some
wonder how
form of
my mother
safety
used to do that
going
for
on.
me, B. It's crazy. My
Ah,
mother
you
used to
got to
do
have
that. She used to
safety.
do the same thing.
Yeah, son, safety and provisions is when it's all said and done, bro. Because again, you know, most of us ain't getting to that hanging out stage until late past high school. The ones that did was already doing whatever, shoot, even they still had somewhat of a whatever. So it wasn't no you was just coming in whenever. Your ass be locked out for the night. Like, well, damn, yeah. You thought it was a game, didn't you? Didn't I tell you to be back in here before time? You thought I was play pepping, didn't you? And watch this. Sit out here for the it's a harsh lesson to learn with some people, but hey, it taught
Right.
them again, like, nah, I ain't doing that shit. But you just got to implement the best strategies for you, and it don't got to be crazy, but just let it be something that's logical, something that's well balanced. Nothing wrong with that at all. Like, all right, even if my kid can't do this, or even if my child decides to do something other than, well, I got something else. And you push the envelope, ask them what their interests are, and really sit down and have that informed discussion with them. I see you back, Marlene, baby. We can appreciate you serious, baby. Nah, but you ain't gotta remember that part though. You give up on yourself, then what? You gotta believe in yourself no matter what the situation and scenarios are in life. And my brother man froze over. See, look, see, I mean that froze. I finally got a little breeze coming through, a little wind coming through, but it's still hot wind nonetheless. Oh man. But no, you just gotta remember that part though. Solid foundation. Gotta have it within yourself. You gotta be able to instill that within your kids. Proper balance in things. You keep it pushing from there. Don't necessarily have to take or make the wrong type of moves just to succeed in life. You gotta still give yourself that option. What best suits you. Yeah, you might have to pop back up. I see you completely froze up, son. Just pop back up, bro. My man done lost all phone service. You're doing a disservice to yourself when you literally just choose not to move forward. Some people are fearful of doing the right things when it comes to their kids because they feel like it's not necessary. But I can be honest with you, that's far from the truth. You don't teach your kids the necessary courses and steps in life, even if they are building to be their own person, like I said, they still have to have some form of blueprint. They can't go out in the world hitting, scratching, fighting people all day. It's not going to work. Because at some point, somebody going to hit back. Be honest with you, though. Just teach them that when it comes to overall hard work and determination, it's successful. What's going on, man? My only one right here. Yeah, he was trying to be helpful me. Oh, shoot. Hold on, give me 1 second, y'all. No doubt. My bad, y'all. I'm back. Y'all just tuned in, hit the like button. And if y'all new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. But no, it's real raps right there though. Um, the goal in life is just to do the best you can in life. Try to grow as much as you can in life. Learn from your experiences, good or bad. Learning from those experiences and then building yourself even stronger to withstand what you need to withstand in the world around you. You know, it's time for order to come back. I mean, let's be real. You know, when there's a great order and balance, even within the household, you know, you get better results. You know, like I said, in certain instances, for some of y'all, you're gonna have to start implementing curfews, and I mean really sticking to them. Because again, you want the best for your children. You don't want your children roaming the streets. At least some of y'all, you don't want your children roaming the streets. You don't want them getting involved in certain activities that could be dangerous or harmful. You want them to see the better things in life, right? So you got to show them the better things. Show them what they can get and where they can put themselves at and what they can achieve if they put their mind solely to work, building on that hope, not giving up, and facing everything in adversity. When you give them that strong common balance, you tend to see that things are a little bit more brighter for them. You know, gotta always remember that again, it's a balance. In this Gen Z era right now, technology seems to have the most attention for the kids than the actual parents or the people who's raising them. Which again, in a sense, for me, in a logical sense, in my opinion on it, my view on it, it's crazy. You got to give them that balance. They got to be able to go out, play, be a part of. And again, you know, keep their mind sharp and elevated regardless. Like prime example, certain scenarios, you see how things play out. Like for the people from my generation going into this generation, the ones that got kids, the ones that was guardians, took kids, so on and so forth, gave a balance. Why? Because we had the balance. Parents gave us the balance, or at least, you know, at least some of us. I can't say that for everybody. Some people wasn't as fortunate, you know. So you got to think about that level too. You know, when it's all said and done, you got to just give them that overall balance. Like I said, teach them things that the internet can't teach them. Give them soul balance. Read with them. Bond with them. I'm sorry, in certain instances, technology is bonding with your kids more than you are. That's my view and opinion on it. Time to start elevating and raising the minds. Take them out to the museums, them art shows, them music performances. Take them to different things, different cultures. You know, again, you have to teach them. Nah, you good, bro. You good. I was like, oh damn, nigga, that lost service, but it's all good, bro. You gotta remember this though. It's not hard to keep your kids on the right track sometimes. Now, there's gonna be sometimes you're gonna have problems. Not gonna lie. But for majority of the part, you usually got everything in a solid order. Because again, they know what you taught them and they know the consequences of the things if they don't listen. Like how they used to tell you, don't run in the house. Don't run in the house. You're gonna hurt yourself. You're gonna run into a wall. You're gonna do something. At some point, if you don't listen, those same things will happen. They telling you that, because again, it's giving you fair warning. Some kids are gonna learn easy. Some are gonna learn the hard way. You would hope that most of them that learn the hard way learn not to go down that route again. But some of them don't. Some of them just continue to do whatever. So again, this is where you have to place a solid implement and balance for the foundation of you, your loved ones, so you can keep the family tree intact. Not gonna lie though, hopefully somebody did get something out of this. Again, parents, guardians start pushing the envelopes like how our parents pushed it for us. Especially now that we know some of the things that we do know, you know, we could keep certain things from becoming the same repeated cycle. Other things we ain't gonna be able to tackle like that. It'll take a miracle. But for the things that you can do, the things that are within your reach, keep pushing that envelope. It's not so much as wanting better schools and wanting better communities. It's just wanting better options. Sacrifices you need to make, all for the better. But the compromises that you build and bring, that's even more important. Even down to the grandparents. You've been through your quote unquote era. What you do know, you still give what's needed. Give them a solid education and a solid background on things. In certain instances, we know the younger generation don't want to hear nothing the older generation is saying, and vice versa. But I think at this point in time, it's time for us to come to that forefront. That forefront should be this. We all have knowledge. We all have gained knowledge in many different ways. It shouldn't matter about how long we've been here. It's more about what we've learned while we've been here. And right now, we need to learn one thing. In order for kids to have a better balance these day and ages, even if technology is going to be the major factor I see, you still have to give that balance. Knowing when to cut them TVs off, them devices off, them games off. Get back to the basics. Sit down with your kids. Learn how to read, write. Show them how to read, write. If you do have issues, right? Teach them how to do math. The most important math. Bond with your children. It's the best form of defense, especially in this day and era right now. They'll keep your kids in a brighter balance. You might not like what's being said. You might not like the fact I'm the one that's saying it. But these are certain things you really need to accept. We have to accept the fact that certain things are just not going nowhere. But we don't have to accept the overall outcome from those situations. Again, give your children balance. Before I get up out of here, I do appreciate everybody that tuned in for the conversation. And shout out to my boy Harry for popping in. Those who might have just been tuning in, definitely catch this replay. It's time for me to figure out dinner. At least it's not an early work night, so those follow me on Clapper. I could be back tonight, give or take around 7, 8 o'clock the latest. Before I do get up out of here, though, I didn't forget about something. For all the people who are celebrating birthdays this month and the rest of this month, hopefully keeping yourselves blessed, keeping yourselves safe, and again, enjoy another blessing, another year. Yep. Better days and more opportunities for all. You know, and I ain't forget about y'all though. I really didn't forget about y'all. Um, I really didn't forget about y'all because again, I was supposed to give y'all the double birthday Randy, but
Dear friend, I know it's your birthday today, but keep yourself under control. Don't drink all the alcohol in town or the news will be like this tomorrow.
again, hopefully you enjoy yourselves, and if you're celebrating during the week or during the upcoming weekend, just keep yourself safe, visual as always, and enjoy every moment of it. You know, make the best memories count, and the ones that are not the best memories, hey, don't let that become a factor. Yeah, let me get up out of here. Appreciate everybody that's been a part of the build, still becoming a part of the build. We still got more great conversations, still got greater things to come. Main thing to remember though is that you always want to get some form of a great conversation. Even if I gotta go back or reiterate on something that's needed, it's because it's for a purpose. You can't expect certain things to happen if you're not making it a consistent thing. Parents, remember that part too, consistency. You gotta consistently be a part of your child's life. And you also gotta keep giving them what's needed. Education and balance. Education and recreation, yeah. And definitely instilling the right mindset. 9 out of 10 times, you might get the perfect solution and you might get the perfect outcome. You know, again, never give up on yourself as a parent neither. Try to do the best you can do. Keep everything together. Fathers, keep being a part of your child's life no matter what. Keep pushing that envelope regardless. Oh yeah, wait a minute. Before I do get up out of here, I forgot I was supposed to do something else. I was supposed to do something else. Oh, wait a minute. Oh no, that's for tomorrow's conversation. My bad, y'all. My bad. See, I almost went ahead of schedule. But hey, I can have fun with myself. I made a boo boo, but I ain't make this boo boo though. Yeah, you know I don't be caring. But yeah, let me get up out of here, y'all. Y'all enjoy the rest of your afternoons, evenings, and yeah, happy Taco Tuesday to all you future babies. Y'all was new to the channel. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Shout out to the replay game. Shout out to the Shadow Mafia and the Shadow Babies. Y'all know what it is, baby. Everybody that was in attendance today, y'all already know that love is love and it'll be reciprocated as such. I don't know how to be fake. All I do is keep it real. That's all I'm gonna do is give you real topics and real goods. And yeah, for those following me on Clapper, I'm definitely trying to see y'all back here tonight. And I'll be back tomorrow morning or afternoon for the site. You know what it is. But y'all stay safe. Keep that third eye open. Until next live, we out of here. Peace and blessings.